Check mic 1 2. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. So today we are going to, first of all, we want to appreciate one of our viewers called Dan. Dan, if you're watching, thank you very much. Dan says, Amosi Luo English Dictionary. Irukamano kum content te you produce on your YouTube channel. I've been living in Kenya, Pangano Island, for the past month, and I've been practicing with my new friends. By working through all of your videos, ase puonjra mang'eny because of you. Erokamano kendo keep for videos. All done. Dan, thank you so very much for your feedback. And we like feedback like the dance. If you've been benefiting from the videos, we appreciate any kind of feedback, any kind. Thank you so very much, Dan, for your feedback. This shows you that dual languages can be used all over the place. I mean, Pangano is a great place. I've been there for a long, long while. Very nice for people. Yung Pangano ginjo suba. Also. Anyway, Dan pass my regards to people at Sena Beach and Yokia. Let's call the Yokia. And up the hill. Thank you so very much. Now, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are. If you're in Kenya, it's right now, I think it's 7 p.m. You're with me in the Eastern time zone. It's only 11:09, 11:06, 11. So what we are going to do today is we are going to continue with what we started yesterday, which is we are going to read. We're going to read and discuss questions. These questions are supposed to help you expand your vocabulary. So I'm going to read and expand questions that we have already so that your vocabulary expands. So this is a continuation of a video on reading and speaking Luo. So if you are new, please just go for the first part of the video. It's streamed on 23rd of January. This is streamed 4th of January. I will put the date somewhere. And before you continue, there is a tip jar. See that thing on the left? The tip jar. Koro kidwa miyo wagi mama tin tikle kanyo tikolonwa sende. you want to tip us, just click on that, put something inside. If you don't want to, it's okay. So let's move on. Be anyalo penji penjo moko matin. Be anyalo penji penjo moko. So this is one of the ways that you can ask questions. And someone would say, the nyime. The nyime. Go ahead. Go right ahead. The nyime. In kod nyithindo adi. In kod nyithindo adi. So, this question, in its context, it is asking how many children do you have with you. So, it doesn't really mean how many have you given birth to, but it means how many do you currently have. In kod nyithindo adi might mean how many kids do you have right now where you are, you know? Or maybe if you're in a bus, then this might be a question of a bus driver asking you, oh, how many kids do you have in that bus, you know? Say, an kod yawuowi ariyo. I was battling with myself about yawuowi. I don't know whether I would write yawuowi or yawuoyi. Like there's a Y and a W. Yawuowi and yawuoyi. And that's one of the things in the Luo language. Sometimes the W and the Y change, and then you have a very difficult time trying to explain what Yawoi is or what Yawoi is. But it's the same thing. An kod Yawoi ariyo. Be inyalo miya. Be inyalo miya lwedo. You lend me a hand. Be inyalo miya. It's a polite way of asking whether. Be inyalo miya. Anyalo. Anyalo. If you cannot, if your answer would be a no, if it would be a negative response, then you'd just say, OOYO, ok anyal. OOYO, ok anyal. Okay? Be inyalo miya lwedo. OOYO, ok anyal. Or, be inyalo miya lwedo. Anyalo. So if you're joining us, this is a conversation, and it's a conversation between two people. I'm just putting context on. Be inyalo miya gowi mar omuom. Be inyalo miya gowi mar omuom. Wrong. Be inyalo miya gowi mar omuom. Be mos aonge kod omuom. Mos aonge kod omuom. No, sorry, I don't have any money. Be inyalo miya gowi mar omuom. Now this is a badly constructed sentence, I agree, because already if you say be inyalo miya gowi, someone knows that you simply just say be inyalo miya. But because we are in the learning streak, we are just putting in the learning part. So gowi mar omuom, making you appreciate looking for money. Then be inyalo miya gowi mar omuom. Say mos aonge kod omuom. Ma en pesa adi. Ma en pesa adi. How much is this? How much does it go for? Ma en pesa adi. You can say this everywhere. Ma en pesa adi. And it's 100 shillings. You would say ma en shilling. mia achiel. Ma en siling mia achiel. So mia achiel is 100, but the correct Luo word is ma en siling piero apar achiel. That's the correct Luo. Ma en siling piero apar achiel. En pesa adi dhi Nairobi? How much does it cost Nairobi? En pesa adi dhi Nairobi? En pesa adi dhi Nairobi? They would give you an answer that en siling Ghana achiel. And this Ghana achiel is not really quite often used. What we use is siling aluf achiel. Why do we use aluf achiel? Aluf achiel is in the Swahili, and aluf achiel means 1,000. And aluf elfu, 1,000 in Swahili, and most of us got brought up in the cultures. Elfu was assimilated into the language. So en siling Ghana achiel might be very rare, but you can get en siling aluf. It would mean the same thing. Is acceptable. Be ne iloro dhoot. Be ne iloro dhoot. And as this is not pronounced as written, usually pronounced as be ne iloro dhoot. That's what you'd hear. Be ne iloro dhoot. But so you see the double O's next to the dot, these two O's here. Sometimes it is never really, they're never really pronounced in talking. Just say be ne iloro dot, and your friend will say we adhi arang ane. We adhi arang ane. Let me go check. We adhi arang ane. Be ne iloro dot. We adhi arang ane. Anyway, when you're still new and you're saying be ne iloro dot, it is still acceptable and someone will understand what you're talking about. So don't worry about contraction of the words until a level when you're comfortable. But for now, you can just say be ne iloro dot. We adhi arang ane. Ma en nga. And NG and apostrophe A is pronounced as nga. Ma en nga. Ma en nera. Iluonge ni Okoth. Ma en nera. Iluonge ni Okoth. This is my uncle. He's called Okoth. Ma en nera. Iluonge ni Okoth. Ma en nga. Ma en wuonwa. Iluonge ni Onyango. So this is my father. He's called Onyango. Ma en nera. Iluonge ni Okoth. So if you want to ask, who is this? That's a good conversation conversation starter again. Ma en nga. Ma en nera. Iluonge ni, whoever it is. Bekech kai. Bekech kai. So remember, there's a slide where I said yes, Bekech kai, I said yes, but now this one I'm saying kai and I'm saying no. So if you're saying no, you say OYO. OYO. Pull up the O's. OYO. Kech okaya. Bekech kai. OYO. Kech okaya. If you have questions, of course, just put them on the chat box. I'll be able to read them out and we can discuss. Bekech kai. OOYO. Kech ok kaya. Idwaro okombe mar chai. Idwaro okombe mar chai. And okombe is this cup. Okombe. Idwaro okombe mar chai. Okombe comes from the word kikombe. And that is also a Swahili word. Chai is also a Swahili. I don't know the. Also, I don't know where chai comes from. Chai and kikombe are not really Luo, but we have taken them up. So idwaro okombe mar chai. OOYO. Erokamano. But me I want so awachoni erokamano. Idwaro okombe mar chai. OOYO. Erokamano. Diher madho ang'o? Diher madho ang'o? So where would you ask when would you say this? When your friends come to visit and you want to offer them a drink, then you'd ask, Diher madho ang'o? Diher madho ang'o? And such are very difficult to say, because you see the DIHER, it is very difficult to pronounce when you're speaking strictly Luo, especially coming from an English background, because that HER, you know it as her. So you'd be much more inclined to say die her ma de ho. You know, that's what you'd say. And the good thing about our tonation is you say it as you see it. So diher madho ang'o? Onge gima adwaro. Erokamano. Onge gima adwaro. Erokamano. Onge gima adwaro. Erokamano. Be anyalo yawo otuchi? Be anyalo yawo otuchi? And otuchi is a very rare word. We all say drisa, because of dirisha is a Swahili word that says a window. The correct word is otuchi. But because it was, otuchi was basically the hollow part of the heart. You remember Luos were staying in a hut. So the hollow part of the heart window. And when these colonizers came in and Swahili were looking for salt and all that stuff came in, they introduced the windows that could be closed and open. And so we had to look for another name. Risa. So be inyalo yawo otuchi? Kawuono liet ng'eny mokalo. Kawuono liet ng'eny mokalo. Yes, today it's very hot. Kawuono liet ng'eny mokalo. Ibor marom nade? Ibor marom nade? Ibor marom nade? How tall are you? An mita achiel kod inji piero abich kod aboro. I'm 1 meter tall and 58 inches. An mita achiel kod inji piero abich kod aboro. This gives the concept of counting and the concept of mixing the concept of counting with the numbers. Okay. Be ing'eyo nyako ma iluongo ni Anyango? Be ing'eyo nyako ma iluongo ni Anyango. Ang'eye. En osiepna masie. Ang'eye. En osiepna. En osiepa masie. Sie. Let me start again. Be ing'eyo nyako ma iluongo ni Anyango? Ang'eye. En osiepa masie. Ang'eye. En osiepa masie. So the reason I continue repeating these words is so that you can also repeat them with me and you get the accent, develop the accent. The only way to develop that accent is by saying it repeatedly and slowly. Ang'o ma omiyo notimo kama? Ang'o ma omiyo ne otimo kamano? This should be ne otimo because this is contracted. Let me just remove that. This is ne otimo. Ang'o ma omiyo ne otimo kamano? Because when you say notimo, it's a contracted version of ne otimo. But I don't want us to contract them. Oh, and even the answer is contracted. So the answer should be ne otimo mana nikech amila. Ne otimo mana nikech amila. So let me remove that. Sorry. Ne otimo mana nikech amila. That's the correct way. Midhusi chalo nade kawuono? No, this one I don't think is correct. So skip it. Iwacho ni koth chwe. Iwacho ni koth chwe. Kao mabul. Iwacho ni koth chwe. Kao mabul. That's an advice. So if you're saying no and you're saying don't take, you say OOYO. Ikao mabul. So that's a different part. If you're saying no, don't take, just say OOYO. Ikao mabul. Okay? That's the opposite of kao mabul. OOYO. Ikao mabul. Mabul is an umbrella. Mabul. Midhusi chalo nade. No, I'm leaving Midhusi out because it's a controversial word yet. So let's go on. Be in kod nyamburko. Do you have a car? Be in kod nyamburko. OOYO. Aonge godo. An kod ndiga. Be in kod nyamburko. OOYO. Aonge godo. An kod ndiga. I don't have, but I have a bicycle. OOYO. Aonge godo. An kod ndiga. Be ihero somo. Be ihero somo. Somo e achiel kuom gigo mahero timo mogik. Somo e achiel kuom gigo ma ahero timo mogik. So ma ahero should not be contracted. It should be ma ahero. Ahero ka. Somo e achiel kuom gigo ma ahero timo mogik. That is how you write it. Okay. An kod kwayo moro. Be anyalo chiwo kwayona? And this is a very, because if you meet somebody and you want to ask for a favor, that is one of the things that you would say. You'd say, An kod kwayo moro. I have an ask. An kod kwayo moro. Be anyalo chiwo kwayona? And you say, luwore kod gima kwayono en. Depends on what it is. Luwore kod gima kwayono en. Luwore kod gima kwayono en. Okay. Be ne dhano ng'eny e burano? Be ne dhano ng'eny e burano? Be ne dhano ng'eny e burano? And you see, and in this part, you see there is dhano and then there is ji. So dhano is people and ji also mean people. So were there so many people there? Nope, there were few of us. So you can call ji, dhano as ji and dhano as no, you can call people as ji and people as dhano. Be ne ji ng'eny e burano? OOYO, ji ne tin. Be ne dhano ng'eny e burano? Now dhano is translated to humans. Okay? But ji is translated to people. Be ne dhano ng'eny e burano? For humans, there are so many humans at that meeting. No, that is not a good way. Like saying our fellow humans. But you could say, be ne ji ng'eny e burano? OOYO, ji ne tin. Useng'eyoru kuom ndalo marom nade? Useng'eyoru kuom ndalo marom nade? Chakre kane wan nyithindo. Useng'eyoru kuom ndalo maromo nade? Chakre ka ne wan nyithindo. Be inyalo nena? Be inyalo nena? So you can see that now we are taking a trend. Anytime you want to ask a question, it is better you start with be. Be, can you? Be inyalo nena? OOYO, ok anyal neni. OOYO, ok anyal neni. Be inyalo nena? OOYO, ok anyal neni. Jogi dhi nade? Jogi dhi nade? Joga dhi maber. Joga dhi maber. Sa adi maber goyoni simo? Sa adi maber goyoni simo? Sa 12. Sa adi maber goyoni simo? Sa 12. And now, again, on the clock, we talked about it yesterday, but maybe we just stress here. When you say 12, because apar gi ariyo is 12, we take the Swahili way of clocks. We don't do the English way, because in English, 6 o'clock means 6 in the morning or 6 in the evening. When you say apar gi ariyo, it means 12. That will be 12 o'clock. But we take the Swahili way of doing time. So 12 means 6 and 6 means 12. And 3 means 9 and 9 means 3. Basically, you just flip the clock. Are there any problems? Be nitiere chandruok. Be nitiere chandruok. Be nitiere chandruok. Ooyo. Gik moko te ni kare. Be nitiere chandruok. Ooyo. Gik moko te ni kare. Everything is okay. Idhi nade? Idhi nade? Adhi maber. Amor romo kodi. Idhi nade? Adhi maber. Amor romo kodi. Adhi maber. Amor romo kodi. Nice to meet you. And that's a good one to just know. Idhi nade? Very common words because everybody would like to know how you're doing. And it's good to compliment and say amor romo kodi. I'm just happy to meet you. Iwinjo nade? Iwinjo nade? Especially if you go to visit someone who's been suffering in an hospital, you would ask Iwinjo nade? And they would say Awinjo maber or pod an gi rem. Pod an gi rem. If they say pod an gi rem, then it means, well, you'll have to pray for them. If they say that, please pray for them because they are still sick. Two ways. Iwinjo nade? Awinjo maber. I'm feeling great. Or pod an gi rem. Pod an kod rem. I'm feeling very bad. Please pray for me. Two ways. Be koth chwe ga e ONGORO. Be koth chwe ga e ONGORO. Ooyo. Koth ok chwe. ONGORO ng'ich thi ka piny OYUSO. And here we have used a lot of tongue twisters. So let's go through it one by one. Be koth chwe ga e ONGORO. Be koth chwe ga e ONGORO. Ooyo. Koth ok chwe. ONGORO ng'ich thi ka piny OYUSO. So you can see very many stylistic, you call them stylistic. Ooyo. Koth ok chwe. Those are very short syllables. Ooyo. Koth ok chwe. ONGORO ng'ich. So NG apostrophe ICH is ONGORO ng'ich thi ka piny OYUSO. ONGORO ng'ich thi ka piny OYUSO. Safar ne chalo nade? Safar ne chalo nade? Safari is also driven from safari. Safari is I don't know if safari is a Swahili word or, because I hear English people say safari and everybody saying safari and great safari and all this. Safar ne chalo nade? But we talk about wuoth in the Luo language. We say wuoth, not safar. But I think safari is acceptable. Safar ne chalo nade? Ok ne omora kaka naparo ni odhi chalo. Ok ne omora kaka naparo ni odhi chalo. So let me just put a parenthesis here. Wuoth ne chalo nade. You can say that. Wuoth ne chalo nade. The person will say, ok ne omora kaka naparo ni odhi chalo. It didn't meet my expectation. Be anyalo konyi. Be anyalo konyi. adwa ni ayud kama safari park nitiere. So someone is lost. This is the context. Someone is lost, and someone joins you and asks, "Be anyalo konyi? Can I help you?" And you want to find a place called Safari Park in Kenya. So you would say, "Hey, adwa ni ayud kama Safari Park nitiere." So if you remove Safari Park and put someone's home or somebody's name, then you just say, "Hey, adwa ni ayud kama Onyango nitiere." So that would be, you'd know that Onyango is based somewhere and you want to get Onyango. So, hey, adwa ni ayud kama Onyango nitiere, or hey, adwa ni ayud kama Safari Park nitiere. Now, if someone talks to you after this and they give you direction, you'd just say erokamano, or you would continue the conversation. If you want to be confident, you could just ask, "To koni dhinade," you know, how is this place? Koni dhinade, udhinade. So that means, how are you going? And now the conversation would start from. Be nitiere rach ka achungo nyamburko nani ka. That's also a long one. Be nitiere rach ka achungo nyamburko nani ka. Be nitiere rach ka achungo nyamburko nani ka. Aparo ni nitiere. So if there is, then they would say, yes, there's a problem, because if you park it there, someone else is coming in after 10 minutes. But also, if there is no problem, you can just say, OOYO, onge rach. Okay? If there's no problem, you just say, OOYO, onge rach. But if there is, you say, hey, aparo ni nitiere. I think there is a problem. I don't know what it is, but I know. Good. So you can... I'll pause for a minute. You can please write on the chat box. Just say something that we can know you are there. This is reading and speaking the Luo language. And what we are doing is we are trying to read and speak at the same time, understand the context of the language, the context of the sentence, and possible answers that one can give. Remember, language is about practice, practice, practice. So the more you practice, the better you become. If you have questions, please put on the chat box, and I'll be able gladly to discuss the questions. So next week, I'm trying to make sure that we are having better experience. So next week, I'm getting I have some cables that I've ordered for, so that I'll be able to see live chats. Then I will also rejoin the Facebook stream, because this is only on YouTube. I removed the Facebook stream, so I'll rejoin the Facebook stream so that we can have more engagement and people talking. Meanwhile, if you've not joined our Facebook page, it's called Luo English Dictionary. You're free to just pop in and join the page, like the page. I think we're almost 10,000 people there. That's a good number. If you've not subscribed to this one, surely, what are you waiting for? Unangoja nini? What are you waiting for? Good. So let's move on. Thank you for the likes. Someone has just put a like there. Asante sana. Be ihero ndalo ma chieng' rieny? Be ihero ndalo ma chieng' rieny? Someone will correct me. Chieng' rieny might not really be in the summer, but ndalo ma chieng' rieny might be something different. Loosely translated, it's summer. Be ihero ndalo ma chieng' rieny? But there is the season. I will look for the seasons them there. En ndalo ma ahero mogik. En ndalo ma ahero mogik. Obor kod ka marom nade? Obor kod ka marom nade? En wuoth mar dakika 7. En wuoth mar dakika 7. Obor kod ka marom nade? En wuoth mar dakika 7. Wuoth mar dakika 7. Be en ja Kenya? Is he Kenyan? Be en ja Kenya? En ja Kenya. Be en ja Kenya? En ja Kenya. Paro ni ineno nade? Paro ni ineno nade? En paro maler ahinya. Paro ni ineno nade? En paro maler ahinya. Paro maler ahinya. Be ing'eyo tedo? Be ing'eyo tedo? You know how to cook. Be ing'eyo tedo? Ooyo. Mak mana ni ang'eyo boko chiemo. Boko is not bake. Wait. How to boil. Boko is to boil. So remove this thing. How to boil. Be ing'eyo tedo? Ooyo. Mak mana ni ang'eyo boko chiemo. And there is an apostrophe missing here too. Mak mana ni ang'eyo boko chiemo. So that is boiling is boko. I don't know what baking is, but boiling is boko. Mak mana ni ang'eyo boko chiemo. Anyalo yudo pi kama bor manade marom nade ka owuok ka. A long one. Anyalo yudo pi kama bor marom nade ka owuok ka. From here, how far is the water source from here? Anyalo yudo pi kama bor marom nade ka owuok ka. Say, kar pi machiegni mogik en mana kilomita robo. Now robo is a Swahili word of. Kar pi machiegni mogik en mana kilomita robo. And this brings a discussion of fractions. Language. You know fractions in Luo is ACHIEL ang'wen. Okay, 1 on top of 4. That is a translation. ACHIEL ang'wen. But I don't think you would say kar pi machiegni mogik en mana kilomita achiel ang'wen, you know. I don't know if that would be correct. If it is, then that's fine. But I think we need to look at fractions and just get a good name for quarter, half, 3/4, you know, the common fractions. So kar pi machiegni mogik en mana kilomita robo. In this case, this is a Swahili word incorporated into the Luo language. Just like Swahili said robo is 1/4, then we should also have a Luo name for fractions, you know. Is something wrong with the food? Benitiere rach moro kod chiemo? Chiemo no. Benitiere rach moro kod chiemo no. Ooyo. TV ema otho kende. TV is called wang liech. OOYO. Wang liech. Yeah. And so, pin nitiere rach moro kod chiemo no. OOYO. Wang liech ema otho kende. OOYO. Wang liech ema otho kende. So that is the correct way of translating. Television is wang liech. The eye of an elephant. Be inyalo dwaro dhi neno sinema kawuono godhiambo. Be inyalo dwaro dhi neno sinema kawuono godhiambo. Ang'o ma nyalo mona? Ang'o ma nyalo mona? What can I not? What's keeping me from going? Ang'o ma nyalo mona? Inyalo dwaro biro kodwa. Inyalo dwaro biro kodwa. Mano nyalo bet maber ahinya. Mano nyalo bet maber ahinya. Inyalo dwaro biro kodwa. Mano nyalo bet maber ahinya. Be ne ihero sinema no? And cinema is an English word. It's just taken from cinema. Be ne ihero sinema no? Ne okorach ahinya. That might not be a good response because now that says it. If you say it was not very bad, you know it means that it was bad but not very bad. So you just say ne ahere. That is a good response. But if you say ne okorach ahinya, then it means it wasn't that bad. That means that there was an element of being bad. It was somehow bad, but not as bad as you had expected. Good. So, in conclusion, I want us to, again, let me just pull this letter. So this is a letter I got from a friend from Pangano called Dan. And Dan says, Amosi Luo English Dictionary. Erokamano kuom content te you produce on your YouTube channel. I've been living in Kenya on Fangano Island for the past month, and I've been practicing Luo with my friends. And by working through all of your videos, ase puonjra mang'eny because of you. Says erokamano kendo for keep making those wonderful videos. And this shows that at least someone is out there, they are watching. So if you are one of us, please, it's okay. Thank you so much, Dan, for your very, very wonderful response. You can contact us from our YouTube channel. How you call them? The comment section on any video, but also you can get us on our page, like our internet page, call those things. You can get us from our website. So our website is luoenglishdictionary.com. Put our website here. Our website www. So this is how you can contact us. If you want to contact us, please do. We are happy to usually get mail from people. If you have questions, if you have suggestions, we'll be happy to. Hey, man, English. That's our website. So in our website, you can just click on duoenglishdictionary.com, and that will take you to our contact page. If you click on that contact, you'll be able to just come and talk to us. Otherwise, that is it has been a pleasure talking to you guys, and thank you so very much for always tuning in. I'll try to make this regular, especially on Saturdays and Sundays, so that we can start doing a lot of things. Asumbi TV wachoni wahero dowa. Thank you, Asumbi TV. And then ISEM, is it ISEM? Saying learning along from Scotland. Thank you for this. Thank you so very much for your comment and for giving me the recommendations. So share this with your friends, because if you share the channel with your friends, then your friends are most likely to give ideas on how we can learn better. And I plan, these are long. The one I was reading is a very long one. I've been doing it for a long time, so we shall be reading it slowly and explaining everything. Yes, at Asumbi Koro inidonjo ka uwok bwana. You have just come when we are leaving. We've been here for the last 1 hour, so. But if you have a question that is very burning, just let me know and then we can talk about it. If you have any question, if you have a suggestion, you can just put it on the chat box and then we can talk about it. And I know that next week on Saturday and Sunday, if you have questions, if you have something that you want us to talk about, please let me know on Saturday and Sunday. We shall be talking about all that. This is a reading and speaking. I want us to read and speak. So not just by off head, but you should be able to look at the word and be able to speak to somebody. Thank you very, very much for those who tuned in today. And as usual, I will see you next week, or within the week, if all goes well, and maybe